Hey everybody, welcome back to Red Mug Music. Very glad you could be back with me today. I took a few weeks off, kind of regrouped, and we're going to start something new. And today I'm going to react to Duran Duran's very first video that they ever put out, to their first single, Planet Earth. It came out in February of 1981 before the actual album was released. It also marked the very beginning of a long and successful collaboration between Duran Duran and Russell Mulcahy. So I'm excited to get into it. So let's do this. All right, before we even get started here, I think Duran Duran did a really good job of creating a futuristic sound with these keyboards and using like a flange effect. I thought it was perfect. And also, if you'll notice, Roger Taylor, shirtless Roger Taylor, it made me remember, I know a lot of people when this came out, when they heard it, they thought that it was Duran Duran was talking about the coming of aliens, but Simon Le Bon later said that this was actually, and it could be, not fully, but it could be about the act of childbirth. So if we notice here, Roger's presumably naked in a shroud, maybe a canal, if you will. And as you see what he's doing, his eyes are closed, as you see there, like he's waking up or opening up his eyes for the first time, with lights flashing, looking up at planet Earth, like maybe that's his destination, like he's being born. And just like the rest of us, he ends up on planet Earth. So maybe that's what's going on here. Let me back it up right there. It's a great sound. I love the explosion of all the instruments coming in together. It's a really good hook by Nick Rhodes and Andy Taylor combined. It's simple, but it's really great. Now that you heard that, Andy Taylor once said the essence of this song was from Rod Stewart's, if you remember the song from 1979 called Do You Think I'm Sexy? I thought that was really cool. He said that synth/guitar hook line that kicks off the tune is played on the same scale and key as Do You Think I'm Sexy? The first two chords, D minor 7th and F, are the same. The melody/counter melody lines are interchangeable, so I thought that was really cool. I danced like that in elementary school, and I thought I was a geek, but apparently I was extremely cool because, you know, Simon Le Bon's doing it here. It didn't take Simon very long to start to mention the New Romantics, looking for the TV sound, which was the look and the sound that they were looking for. That's why they're dressed this way. It was a new wave that was coming out, which was post-punk, and he mentioned it pretty quick. So we're getting an idea of what's going on here. And speaking of the type of sound, even I thought John Taylor's bass ability was quite advanced at this point, because when Duran Duran first started, he was the guitar player before Simon Le Bon came into the band. And John Taylor said later on, he said that Planet Earth for him as a bass player was an expression of sort of my punky aspirations to be danceable and to have that disco thing going on. So when I was listening to this, thinking about, you know, what I'm going to talk about, disco kept coming to mind, but I was almost afraid to mention disco until I found this quote by John Taylor, and actually that was the whole point. So disco, I mean, it's 1981. There's going to be some disco, especially if you're, you know, trying to copy the Do You Think I'm Sexy sound from Rod Stewart. This is going to have a disco sound. So it's kind of funny because it's post-punk, but it ended up being disco, kind of. I effects back then were just so different and quite literal. Shirtless Simon. Look at John Taylor's bangs. I want to know in England, because at this point, I don't think they were very popular or even known in America. I think they pretty much just hit the charts in England and Australia at this point, even though they didn't do anything in Australia to get that. It just happened, just airplay. But I want to know how many people ended up with this kind of hairstyle that John Taylor has. You know, the I can't see anything hairstyle. This is a point of Duran Duran's career, span, the lifespan of the band, that I pretty much didn't like anybody's hair. Simon's is fine and Roger was fine, but the rest I just was not a fan of at all. Notice the air and the water and the fire. They made sure to include the four elementals. You have Earth Elemental, which is planet Earth. We've already seen the Earth. And then you have air and water and fire. So they were just trying to include all those elementals. That's why you're seeing those. Because when I first saw it, I'm like, that's confusing. What are they doing? I thought maybe since they were talking about childbirth, maybe they were talking about, hell. I didn't know, but it was just showing the elemental of fire. Hey, it's Roger playing real drums. I really enjoy watching Roger play real drums. I know he plays, more of electronic drum now, and it's really nice to see this. But also, I'm noticing Andy Taylor's guitar. He was really just like a rhythm guitarist for Duran Duran. But when they came to America, I think one of the things that really made Duran Duran popular is Andy Taylor's guitar, this electric guitar. We really enjoyed it because it just made it a lot more commercial sounding, and it made it very easy to play on the radio. So I think it had a lot to do with its success in America when Duran Duran finally showed up. Basically, I'm saying that Andy gave Duran Duran a nice commercial appeal. All right, here in a second. I don't like Nick Rhodes' hair. It's terrible. Blonde with pink. Andy Taylor with that blonde hair. Didn't work. Now, these two guys are, actually it's a guy and a girl, it's people that they knew from the Rum Runner when Duran Duran worked at the Rum Runner. When Duran Duran worked there, they had like odd jobs. I'm trying to think. John worked the door, I think. Roger was a busboy, and Nick was a DJ. And Nick was the DJ because he had a large record collection, so that automatically qualified him for the DJ position, which was pretty cool. The first time I ever heard the song, it was actually, well, I'm sure I heard it when it came out and just didn't recognize it because I was only, what, 8, 9 years old. But the first time I actually noticed it and knew that I liked the song was when it was released on Arena. And I liked Planet Earth on Arena because it was so much more loose and it was a lot less robotic. And when we get into Careless Memories, I'll do that one as well. Video reaction. Careless Memories didn't do well because I think, again, it was just very robotic from Simon Le Bon. And then when Arena came around, I think all that was fixed. And it was just so loose and so raw and so much better. So I think Planet Earth on Arena, the live album by Duran Duran, is a really good version of this song. And then Simon Le Bon dies. So that was Duran Duran, Planet Earth. I think that's a really good start to a very fantastic career. They deserve, by all means, to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm excited about that. Anyway, if you have any other videos that you would like for me to react to, Duran Duran or non, anybody else, just comment down below. Let me know what that is, and I'll check it out, and I'll be sure to do it. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys next time.